Good afternoon. So it was seventh grade. It was October, about mid-October. I'm probably on paddling number, probably by that point, paddling number 15 in the beginning of seventh grade, middle of October. Got in trouble out in the hall. Seventh grade English teacher named Miss Brady used to have you go stand at the door. You have to go down to your ankles, put your tush out, and you get the paddle, which I tried to give you a representation of the paddle that I nicknamed the Whistler because it had 7 holes. I think this one has 8, but the Whistler has 7. Miss Brady used to raise horses, I think from throwing hay. You know, she had these arms, and so when she would bring that paddle down, it would just bring you some life. I think she was the one who prepared me from my time pledging many years ago. But anyway, so I'm in the hallway, I'm assuming the position, and here comes our principal, who's a very short guy, nobody particularly cared for him. Comes down the hall yelling my name, Jones, stand up, blah, blah, blah. Says, Miss Brady, how many times is this that Jones has been in trouble this year? She said, I don't know. She said, I can't figure out what to do. I've even sent him upstairs a couple times to the men. I guess she thought that Mr. Cameron and Mr. Belfield, who were 2 really large men upstairs on the second floor, or third floor, paddled harder than she did. Not even close. Don't know whether they held back or not, but it wasn't even close. And so anyway, he stands me up and he says, Jones, tell you what, you get in trouble anymore the rest of the school, you're gonna be expelled. I don't even know what expelled means. All I do know is that my father's about 6'3", 6'4", has these very humongous arms, and me trying to go home to say that I wasn't going to school anymore wasn't part of the plan. So for 2 weeks, I am a model citizen. I mean, the other kids are doing such a great job at helping me stay out of trouble. And then that Friday comes, and I'm done with my work, and I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to remember to change the names of the people in the story. But this particular young lady, we were mortal enemies. We're still mortal enemies to this day. She's an attorney to this day in North Carolina. I think we tried to date in daycare, and it just went bad, and we've just been bitter ever since. Her mom sends her to school on this Friday. Ladies, you remember that back in the day, they used to have those big like braids that looped around and had the balls that tied at the end of the hair or whatever. So she's sitting in front of me, little guy jumps on my shoulder and says, do it. And before I could remember my 2 weeks of conditioning, I reach up, grabbed her ponytails and yanked. She screamed, Miss Brady gets up, and all of a sudden everybody realizes what's about to happen. So I'm halfway out the chair, and Miss Brady walks by the Whistler. And for those of us in the room who are educators and who have children, you know when you do something different than you've always done before, everybody get quiet, get still, get scared. So I'm halfway out the chair like this, all the kids are like, ooh. Miss Brady passes the whistle, goes over to the bookshelf, and she picks up this book. And one of the gentlemen, who to this day would be special ed, but back then we educated kids and we didn't label them, one of this young man yells out and says, oh, she's gonna hit him with the book. The boys laughed, the girls started crying, I got tears running down my face, and I'm gonna be posturing for, if she walk over here and hit me with this book, we're gonna have some problems, right? And so she walks over, she drops the book on my desk, and she says, Darian, she opens it up, she says, Darian, start copying. Now this is early 80s, late 70s, can't remember off the top of my head. We didn't have the technology that we have today. We didn't have the access to differentiate the way in which we did today. Her having me copy was the best that she could do around differentiation. But it was what she had me copy. And so I'm sitting there, I'm struggling, realizing that not gonna get in trouble, so I'm sitting here, I'm copying. A moment under my breath, copying these words, everybody looking at me, but it dawned on me, I'm not gonna get kicked out. I'm not even gonna get paddled anymore. Oh, you have given me the green light to just show out and be terror, right? So finish my copying, classes change, time for recess. I run out to the playground with everybody else. Miss Brady says, Darian, where you going? I said, I'm going out to play kickball. She says, no, you're not. She said, remember what happened earlier today? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, you have to sit beside me up here on the hill. Now, you can imagine in 7th grade, having to sit with your teacher on the hill and everybody walking by, and then people, you know, Darian, Miss Brady, blah, blah, all that crazy stuff. Oh, yeah, that was embarrassing. I basically lost recess for the better part of the rest of the year. And what happened was, when I sat on the hill with Miss Bradley, she asked me, she said, Miss Brady, she asked me, tell me what you copied. Tell me what you thought about it. Tell me what it meant to you. Tell me how it made you feel. The very first book that she had me copy, back to front, that just shows you how much energy I had, was The Complete Works of Alfred Lord Tennyson. One of my favorite two poets today is Alfred Lord Tennyson. To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. And the reason that Miss Brady is the reason that I'm standing before you today and never got labeled and never got expelled, and I'm working on degree number 5 and 6 and I already have a PhD and have been an educator and spoken to people all over this country, is because finally an educator who didn't look like me, Miss Brady's a white female, realized that I was bored and not bad, and that made all the difference. And you have Darians sitting all over your classrooms, and it's the ones who have the behaviors that seem just a little off, just a little loud, just a little different, that if you see beyond the behaviors and realize that there is a child back there screaming for help and attention, that will make all the difference. And so I want to thank Miss Brady because she saved my life, and not only that, provided me an opportunity and a platform to do things that this little small town boy never thought he would be able to do. The power of it is, and I didn't get it, I didn't figure it out in 7th grade. I wasn't sitting up on the hill like, ooh, I love Miss Brady, I get to go talk to her. That wasn't it at all. But what she did with words, what she did with literature and getting me to be able to unpack it and explain it to another adult and us have those conversations, it showed up in 11th grade. It showed up on the SAT. It showed up in freshman English at college. And you ask my friends now, it shows up in my life every day because I love literature. I read about 105 books a year, all because Miss Brady gave me access. So, be the difference. Thank you so much.